My soul is a witness. Oh, my Lord, my soul is a witness.
I'm actually grateful that I had the opportunity to come back and sing with the chorale, and I am most certainly grateful to still be able to sing up under my professor, because he's going to forever be my professor, Butler.
Witness, witness for my Lord. I'm here at the University of the District of Columbia. Phillip McIntyre taught here at the University of the District of Columbia. I'm teaching in the office that he used while he was here, along with Pearl Williams-Jones. It's a whole nother story. So I said, maybe I can do this. And let me get this group of the chorale before they roll out, because 80% of that choir graduated. I said, I have to capture this sound, and I have to capture this sound for his music now.
Don't you let nobody turn you around, turn you around, turn you around. Don't you let nobody turn you around. Keep the straight and the narrow way.
The music that we're doing is really, really, really beautiful, and actually connects with me as being a believer in Christ. So the songs, even the title track, But Don't You Let Nobody Turn You Around, actually probably speaks to my journey in even coming back to finish my degree, that was something that I needed and wanted to do. And things took me away. One was music and touring, and then life. So to come full circle, Don't You Let Nobody Turn You Around, turned out to be the perfect song. And I'm so glad that I was chosen to be a part of the recording. And in addition to that, to have a solo part, and especially that particular song, Don't You Let Nobody Turn You Around, which speaks to me.
You may be a good Baptist or a good Methodist as well, but if you swing the pure in heart.
It was not only just an honor, but a privilege to sing Don't You Let Nobody Turn You Around. The message behind it, to continue to inspire those to not give up on themselves.
Those rhythms and those syncopations really have to accentuate various moods, say for instance, of that determination that I'm not going to let anybody turn me around. And that's a message particularly from the civil rights era. And you can even take that back to being free as a slave, that no, I'm not going to let anybody turn me around.
I am seeking for a city.
Hallelujah.
I am seeking for a city.
This choir just means so much to me, and any opportunity that I get to come back and serve, because it feels like a level of service. It feels like a labor of love and a true act of service to be able to be privileged to be asked to come back and be a part of this organization, even as an alumna. I was so honored when Professor Butler asked me if I would be willing to do a solo and a duet. It has just been a joy to prepare. It's been a joy to learn. It's been a joy singing with the other members of the chorale and meeting some new members of the chorale and seeing the future of this organization through some of the soloists that I've been able to sing with. So I'm really excited about this.
There's a better day a coming.
Hallelujah. What a joy that holy number.
To see Professor Butler at this stage directing the chorale, the background is that actually we were in class together, theory class, Professor Van Buren. Oh my goodness. But we were together in class early on in studies somewhere around the 90s, maybe a little bit later than that. But we were together then, and he enjoyed and loved music. And I'm elated now to see the fact that he's here as a professor. In addition to that, the director of the chorale. And I'm excited for him. Actually, I'm so excited for the mark that he is making in his professional career and in the music space. It's amazing to me. I'm so proud of him.
I had to get the music. I had to get permission from each publisher, to record the music. Not necessarily to record the music, but because it was going to be released to the public for purchase, I had to get the mechanical license cleared for X number of albums, X number of CDs, X number of downloads, and I had to get that for each publishing company. I had to secure the schedules of the singers. Even though it was going to be in June, I had to make sure that I wanted to give them 6 months notice that this is when it's going to be. These are going to be the dates of the rehearsals.
Yeah. Thank you.
I had to, at the last minute, get a collaborative pianist because our collaborative pianist had a conflict. So I had to get somebody else that I knew could do the job.
I was excited when Professor Butler asked me to accompany the chorale for the Phillip McIntyre project. I thought it was very important to kind of collect and preserve and perform these pieces by our African American composers, and one definitely that's associated with Washington, D.C., associated with UDC, associated with our area and within our own sphere and realm. We do works of other composers that may seem far away and long ago, but Phillip McIntyre is definitely near and dear to our hearts.
When I called her talking about the project and asking I needed a piano, she said, I'm available. I was like, oh, snap, okay, cool. And she's not only a choral conductor, she's a vocalist, she's a music educator, she's a pianist, she's an organist, and she's a pianist that can accompany. I asked for my good friend Dawn Robinson, who's a classical vocalist who sings jazz, who sings Broadway, to have my extra ears in the back of the studio.
It's always too pretty not to do it.
Please don't mess this up, y'all. Please.
Phones down, let's stand.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Nicole Annette Green. I am a UDC alum, associate's degree in keyboard music, a minor in vocal, and a bachelor's of music degree as a classical piano major, voice minor. I've always been a part of the chorale for curriculum and continued as a volunteer. So I've really enjoyed my journey, especially with participating in the Phillip McIntyre project and learning so much of the rich ancestral music that he composed, and also as a pianist understanding the instrumentation of the music parallel to the vocal lines.
You hear the diversity of his writing, the rhythms, the a cappella, the chants, and the beautiful accompaniments in his piano writing as well that accompanies the choir. So you hear a lot of, you hear his soul basically in his music. And as a composer, I think, writing your truth is what it's all about.
When it comes to spirituals, a lot of the times it's just like being a lot more sensitive and actually like reading your dynamics in the music and understanding when you're going to sing soft, when you need to sing loud, because everything is purposeful, everything is intentional. Because you're trying to strike an emotion. Like, it's not just a, hate to trash the music, not just a regular like pop song to where you're just trying to get everybody, just happy and jumping around. Sometimes you may want to evoke the emotion that somebody may be missing, like, their loved one. They may have lost their loved one, or they may need this song like get through the week. So you can't just approach it like any other song.
Before this, I'd never heard of Phillip McIntyre before. However, I think that's exactly why it's so important that we're doing this project, because this music is so important and so current and so layered and gorgeous, and just it needs to be performed more. And I'm glad that we can kind of, bring it out of the shadows a little bit.
Yes, Lord, my Lord, the gospel pillow is in our hands. Good Lord, we're bound for the world is that. Have you been baptized?
It is so much fun to sing, just because there is a joy and an exuberance and kind of just like an unbridled happiness, and like it's such an inviting song. Also, it's that very quintessential Black spiritual tradition of call response, participatory music that I love and came to love through studying at UDC.
It feels really good to be a part of UDC's history with this project, because it's like, well, you don't know when history is being made when it's being made. You know what I'm saying? You don't only know when it's being made after it's made. So it feels like we're starting a legacy, and then down the line it's going to start like, dang, UDC Choir, the University of the District of Columbia, did their first CD to Phillip McIntyre's music. It's like I feel like we don't see it now, but in the near future it's going to be like, dang, they really did that. So it feels really good to be a part of that, and I'm just like so excited to see what it's going to sow later on down the line.
Brickman. I am a recent graduate of UDC, the vocal music department, and I am a soprano in the chorale. Our bodies are our instrument, and so we have to take good care. So, I mean, prior to the recording, I spent the entire day before on vocal rest, not much talking, singing, or anything like that. Being careful of what I ate, what I drank, all of those things. Singing a song like that, the message is so powerful. So it requires a lot of emotion on top of making sure all of the technical aspects are there, making sure I'm following the music correctly and all of that. But I have to pour my heart and soul into the piece.
A breakthrough moment for me was, I had a solo, so I'm not really the do a solo type of person, but just having that, to be able to have the responsibility kind of like had me like prep so hard that was kind of like my breakout was when I got to recording and I started singing my solo and prepping for the solo, that when I started singing and after it was done, I like felt like, like weight lifted off my shoulder, but also just like elevated.
My Savior spoke these words so sweet. O shepherd, feed on my sheep. Sing, Peter, if you love me, feed my sheep.
Whenever there's an influx of new freshmen and new sophomore transfer students, you have to train them as if they're not already trained, but you have to get them to sound like you want them to sound. And sometimes that can take over the course of a whole academic year. Now you're talking about that and learning music too, and learning music to present, and learning music to concertize, and learning music to record. That's a uphill battle. So we had at that time some really, really good learned voices that were trained well.
Crying, 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 crying.
Some songs like The Downward Road is Crowded were part of a grouping of spirituals, and that was part of a group of two.
The Downward Road is Crowded, that spiritual, that's a powerful one. The words, of course, but also the way that it was interpreted.
Professor Butler is just such an awesome choral director, in the way that he coaches us. That message, it comes from the Word of God. And so making sure that I understand that this was more than a song, but it's a sermon, really. I try to do my best to get out of my head and just sing the song.
Oh, the downward road is crowded, crowded.
And she allowed it to come through her body, and really gave it to us the way that I believe it was written and arranged for it to be presented.
When we all come together and blend and fellowship and sing, I just learned so much, and it's just something that I'm so grateful to be a part of.
Judgment Day, and every poor soul that never get rain, that the rain that day, they tell me that
Yes, the downward road is crowded, especially right now.
Oh, the downward road is crowded, full of unbelieving souls.
You can really hear Phillip McIntyre's faith in That's How Good God Is. That is an original sacred composition.
One of the songs that I absolutely love would be That's How Good God Is. I just love how the melody of it is just straight beautiful, especially in the beginning.
That song right there has kept me going because even the challenges, once the album was recorded and we got to go back into the studio and do it again. Can I get these same 16 people to go back into the studio? And I couldn't get the 16 people. I had to get 14 people. And one of the persons who wasn't able to come back is one of the only ones that had the low F. So the second recording, the engineer put a microphone in front of me as I'm conducting, and I'm singing one of the low Fs. We did the pictures, we did the photo shoot the morning of the recording, because again, that's the last time I was going to see those 16 people together in one time. So I had to get that. I had to get the photographers. I had to get photographer A, photographer B, videographer.
Young and old, the meek, the bold.
I think about this song a lot, and I would love to have everybody hear That's How Good God Is. That song, that song just touches me. I think it's going to touch a lot of people. And that's going to remind them how good God is and how good God has been to them. And that even if they don't know him, they're going to want to know him when they hear that song.
That's how good God is. He sends the Holy Spirit to direct and be our guide.
I pray that they are inspired, spiritually inspired. I pray that they feel the Holy Spirit, the presence of the Holy Spirit in each one of these songs that we are singing.
In terms of the Phillip McIntyre album, the songs that move me the most would definitely be any of the songs that we do a cappella. So That's How Good God Is. That song is beautiful, and almost every time we perform it, I can actually look in the crowd and see people crying. So it's nice to have that one recorded.
That's how good God is.
That resolution right there. That just speaks to his faith.
My Soul is a Witness, with Rachel singing a solo. I love when Rachel does any church song.
I know into him, but I've been told.
My soul is a witness for my Lord.
The streets up there are paving down.
My soul is a
Yeah, that part is definitely, it gives you something to look forward to, that part. It's like, oh, I've never been to heaven, but I've been told, when Professor first asked me to do a solo, my heart said yes, but my nerves, sort of sometimes goes before me. And so, but I knew that this was something that needed to get out to the world. This was something, that not only Professor was passionate about, but I think that it was just important for, the world to hear it, the people to hear it. And so to be entrusted to lead that particular song, My Soul is a Witness, I was honored, to say the least.
My Soul is a Witness for my Lord is definitely one that I really, really appreciate. Because again, when you have that concept of everything about me is a witness.
Oh Lord, Let Me Ride. I just love how the spiritual connection that you get from the spiritual is more so like knowing what our ancestors went through.
I think that at this present juncture in our nation, in our society, and in our world, it is more important than ever to be not just musicians, but arbiters of history. There's a legacy that was left through the music and the compositions of Professor Phillip McIntyre, and it takes a lot of work and a lot of research and a lot of diligence to truly, truly honor that work, and it takes a lot to make those things truly come alive.
My favorite song from the Phillip McIntyre album will be Oh Lord, Let Me Ride. That one's a favorite of mine because of the different harmonies that you were hearing there with all the moving parts from the tenors and the altos.
Let me ride well, load down your chariot.
And then you hear the soprano soaring over everybody, and then hear the grounding of the bass parts that's keeping everybody together.
I am so impressed and in awe of Professor Johnny Butler and the work that he has done, the research that he has put into not just find these scores, but to make them accurate to the time.
This music deserves to be out there. It's more than worthy of being recorded and documented, especially the music of such a prolific composer, arranger, and overall musician.